Merry Christmas. Do my eyes deceive me? Or is that whole lotta red on Christmas Day? We'll talk about the satanic stuff and the marketing of this another time, all right? If the devil is around here, he having a good time, apparently. Y'all know my history with Playboi Cartier, all right? Y'all know that I've never been his biggest fan. This nigga trash, dog. I'm sorry, he trash. In 2019, this dude was a part of some of my favorite songs, right? Like every time I heard him on a feature, whether it was a DJ Mustard record with Nav on Perfect 10, or, you know, the feature he completely outperformed Trippie Redd on, or being one of the most enjoyable transitions of Earthquake, or being a part of Solange's album, like the dude for 2019, as far as features is concerned, just showed me a whole new light. And while I didn't like Dyin, the beats on there were something special. Here we have Whole Lotta Mi I, Whole Lotta Red. And I'm really looking forward to this. I really am. It's Christmas Day. I'm in the spirit. I hope y'all have already enjoyed the project. We're about to see how I feel about it right now. The first track is called Rockstar something.
Too much. Never too much. Never too much.
All right, I'm gonna tell you. First couple seconds of that track, the beat, it's got a lot of momentum. All right, we're going somewhere. It's like we're in a car in the middle of the night and the music is blasting right now. We going 150 miles an hour in a residential. He's definitely mixed higher than the beat right now. I don't know if that's a choice or if it was a mistake, but we'll see how the rest of this plays out.
Never too much.
Oh yeah.
Never too much.
See that little that right there? I can hear it swelling up in the back. See, the beats, I already know what, I know this album is going to hit me with beats that I'm going to go back to, listen to with headphones on, and I'm going to fall in love with. That layering right there got me.
I got gold money and I put myself an ass.
I'm not going to lie, I'm really missing the baby voice Carti right now. That isn't to say that this track isn't like good, because the beat is great, I think, but at least when it comes to Carti, I think vocal inflection wise, he's doing a lot more experimenting than he was before, because his voice doesn't sound completely accustomed to the inflections that he's trying right now, but it's a change. Go to the moon with Kanye West.
Watch was a fossil. Everybody wear costume. Spray a little
Oh my
perfume.
God. What the fuck is happening?
We got more to do.
Is this a sample? Because it sounds so familiar.
Yeah, Jesus gang, you correct. Always asking for Buddha, you a Budapest. Hey, if
What?
they don't call my son, he killed by punk.
These transitions are so smooth. It's not industrial in that one part. It feels so manufactured, robotic. Then it transitions into like this isolated kind of bubbly-ish type beat. Almost sounds like you're underwater. Next track is Stop Breathing.
Take my shirt off and now the whole stop breathing. Take my shirt. I've been thinking about homicide. Free, oh my God.
Hey, if they sound like you, the government can keep them niggas. I'm sorry. This song is definitely high on energy. It's just I don't know, just hearing his normal voice sounds so awkward. The thing about Dyin, it sounded like, you know, the beats that we got were a selection of like if you took a bowl of Lucky Charms and you took all the brown shit and just left the charms. Just nothing but sugar, nothing but like sweetness, you know. But here it feels like there's a lot more of that tartness or a lot more of that bitterness to the beats as well. And along with the heavy, really knocking bass, I'm not really getting that like melody to the beats. Then again, the cover art literally references Slash, and like that's hard rock. So it should have that like hard trap type shit, I guess is what I'm kind of getting from this right now. That heavy bass, that tart instrumentation, and Carti's inflections are a lot more based off of what I feel to be feeling and whatever's in the moment, as opposed to like what sounds good. I've never heard you sound like this. Ad-libs, I like the ad-libs on this track. I don't really care for Carti's like vocal performance. I don't really care for too much of that.
All black 2, 3, LeBron with the heat. Go at the bed doing it. Go at the bed doing it.
Now, content-wise here is kind of hard, but you know, like the beat here is like a lot of that nursery rhyme-esque shit that I was feeling off At Me, and it sounds kind of like a remix of that almost. The beat sounds very familiar, like it's really kiddish, really playful. It's a thin line, man. It's a thin line. Sometimes you can be too hard, or sometimes you can be too soft. Don't take that out of context. Number 5, we gonna go to Jump Out the House. You know, maybe this is one of those slow burners. I gotta like lead into something. If it's one thing you're not gonna do, you're not gonna not give me lyrics and not give me melody. I go to you for something, my guy. It's gonna kill him right here. Hey, yo, fuck you, Carti. I can't go nowhere. What do you mean jump out the house? Come on, you gotta hit the bitch ad-libs the whole song. It's your perfect opportunity. It sounds like a totally different person. It was a quick burst of energy. It got its point across and left. I honestly wouldn't have minded if you'd have just done that the whole song. The bitch ad-libs, that's all I would have needed for that track to be complete fire. Track number 6 is Metamorphosis featuring Kid Cudi. I'm sure 90 million of us have already heard this track. I'm gonna just hear it again with Cudi's feature. Maybe not. He's rapping over his hums. He's ad-libbing through Cudi's hums. I didn't know it was gonna be like this. So like God? What? I don't know if Kanye co-signing that one. Oh my God. I think Cudi killed that track. His hums were fantastic. Using them as a foundation, like a layer, and then putting more bass on top of that, and then his voice is the foundation for the track. I thought that was perfect. Track number 7 is Slayer. I really have no idea what the fuck he just said or what to say about that song. I don't hate it, and there are elements to it that I like. The only part about it is like it's a lot lighter than I expected it to be, and he's rapping for a lot longer than I thought he'd be, which is good to me. And he's got the classic ad-libs in there. I don't know what's missing about this track that I feel like it should have to make it like go from good to great. Track number 8 is No Sleep.
Go to sleep, I dream about murder. Go to sleep, I dream about murder. Can't fuck with no back.
I don't know what to do now, man. Like, I didn't want this to be the case again. It's fucking Christmas. Jesus Christ. He sounds so much more goofy on these tracks than even Die Lit. Like, even Die Lit, bro, like, Carti was just, I didn't think he was saying much of anything, but he was just flowing. He was just riding those beats. Granted, I feel like he could have been replaced by a myriad of other people, but that's neither here nor there. I think he still sounded at home on those beats. Here, I just kind of feel like he's just being thrown in, and his voice is like someone put him in a straitjacket, and his voice is literally trying to be the visual representation of what it would look like if someone were trying to get out of a styrofoam room. Number 9 is New Tank. Oh, this is a track where they thought he was gay. Posted with my brothers. They thought I was gay. I really had no expectation going into this project, but I did have a ton of curiosity. I don't know. I feel like these tracks I've heard so far, every one of them for the most part, though some of them may be good, and I do enjoy like a good portion of them, especially that one with Kid Cudi. I feel like some of them just have yet to surpass older, more enjoyable tracks from Carti. Not that those are being like actively compared to them right now. It's just, wow, you know, the expectation, if it were up here, the realization and the actuality of it is like right around here. And is that his fault for expectation being up here? Not really, but these songs are a little ass. Next track is Teen X from Future. These are the beats that I wanted. Yes. The layers, okay? We got like, we got a track right here with tons of bass, tons of heavy 808, and then we got another little part in here that sounds like it's straight out of a video game, and then another part layered into that that's twinkling behind it. But it's like a cupcake, but someone put sugar on top of the cupcake and then put icing on top of the sugar. This is like an ice cream truck that comes to serve drugs. Yo. Codeine. I love this track. This track is amazing. Oh my God, they captured everything about this. Teen X is great. I love it. Now, only thing about this track that I would change is Future's portion, because I do think he emulates a little bit of Carti during his feature, but I don't mind that track one bit. It's like a wonderland of, I don't do drugs, you know what I'm saying? I don't do drugs. A crack addict would not do well in this environment. I thought Med was At Me, but it's a totally different song now, I guess. that little jingle. Damn, what am I trying to think of? It doesn't sound anything like it now, but like in the beginning, it reminded me, like I thought he was about to go like through some cruising down the street. This is definitely a soundtrack, you know, a nigga who steals kids' bikes would be listening to while he's doing it.
Fuck up, fuck up, fuck up. It's like me.
Yo, the instrumentals are so layered. Whatever that is, it sounds like so nasty. Like it's in the crevice of somebody's nah. But that reminds me of some Shaq Fu too. Oh my god, y'all don't even know. His voice is really the only issue with these tracks right now that I can see. He's straining his voice, it seems like, at some moments, and if it's not straining, it's like almost to an uncomfortable amount of effort to get into this pocket or get this vocal inflection off. And I would rather him stick with the baby voice, or I'd rather him stick with, you know, a little bit more of a melodic, consistent voice throughout, as opposed to trying all these different vocal inflections and then like not really knowing what works and what doesn't. I think he can try something like that with ad-libs that don't take up much of the song and that are so repetitive that if he messes up, it sounds intentional. But when he's doing it while rapping through a verse, it sounds like he doesn't know how the fuck to use his voice. 12 is Vamp Anthem. Oh my god.
We push up to your spot like it's not. Where the guys that play with pussy don't play with butt.
I'm playing with pussy, not boys, bro. What are you talking about? Track number 13 is New Neon. Or a old Carti track. I don't remember. Yeah. Yeah, I really like that. I like that song a lot. I don't know how he's gonna stretch the lack of whatever on this album to another, what, 10 tracks? I don't know how he's gonna do it.
Patiently.
All right, no offense to academics. I'm never playing a song like with his voice for the first 10-15 seconds. I don't want to hear Joe Budden, academics, any industry person's voice in a commercial song. I don't fucking like DJ Khaled, you know, trademarking his own songs. Anytime I hear this, I'm skipping. I'm skipping by default.
What I also found out,
you're still playing him. Wow. Why didn't you just put this as the intro?
That's the reason why he said,
my nigga! At least we got Drake's album in January, right? I just there are like probably 4 or 5 good like songs out of this so far, I think. I don't know what the fuck this is, man. I really don't. I'm trying my best to listen, but the more songs I'm hearing, the more frustrated I get, the less tolerant I am. And the more these things just are coming off like this dude isn't even trying, you know. And sometimes not trying and things coming to you effortlessly can be a good thing. Other times they're just indicative of how fucking trash you actually are. Hunk Monk. Wow, that bass is insane. I don't need Carti anymore at this point, you know. Like the beats have proven to have more personality than he does. Nigga, what? First you was gay, now you white. You clearly stopped giving a fuck a long time ago. I get like the energy some of these tracks are gonna have is like that of punk, and it's like semi-alt rock, and you know, it's got a lot of that like just natural raw energy that you're supposed to give. I just don't think it fits here, especially when it doesn't sound refined or intentional. Track number 16 is On That Time. You know, I'm not gonna lie to you, Uzi, I think Uzi will really kill these tracks. I do. This is the type of production I would love to see Uzi, you know, more of that playful trap too. I would love to see Uzi on stuff like that. What is going on with this beat? I'm taking a shit or I'm taking shit. That track sounded like a Transformer and a Decepticon got in a car crash. Tons of energy, and I like the way Carti was mixed into that track, so I think that one's kind of a W. Number 17 is gonna be King Vamp. Oh, like vampire. What? What? Don't put Kobe's name nowhere near this blasphemy. You know, every time I you know, enter one of these songs, I'm thinking it can't get much worse. But it does get worse. I don't know what I'm doing. Like, it's fucking Christmas. I should be with my family. I shouldn't be doing this. I shouldn't be doing, I never do this. But this nigga ass. And there's still 7 more songs. Place. You see what I'm saying? I'm not gonna lie, that pause might have ruined the whole song for me just now. But you not gay. The songs on here that are pretty good too, they're really short. I feel the other tracks on here that don't really have that like punk aesthetic are also like driving themselves toward reverting to trying to recreate moments off of Die Lit, because I think this is a Pierre Bourne beat, and all this does is just show like, okay, Pierre Bourne needs, you know, to have his spine checked because he's carrying the fuck out this man. I feel so empty. Sky is number 19. You sound like some video game beats. You know, I like this. Yeah. You ever like a song but have like nothing to say about it? Fuck! I like this song. I really do. I really do. I just have nothing to say because it'll just piggyback off of what I liked about previous song. And his ad-libs. His ad-libs do some work on that track. I gotta admit. Track number 20 is Over. This album is almost over. You know, these beats feel like just motorboating a pair of double G breasts. That's what these beats really feel like. You just immerse your face, you immerse yourself into it, and nothing else really matters. Okay, you might hear something in the background, which to me is kind of Carti, but the experience is the experience. This song, this shit like this makes me remember like Sonic the Hedgehog. You did something to a certain amount. It was a special stage you would get to, and you would just, I would love getting to the stage because the music would just loop and it would just sound so like a musical wonderland. Like it would just sound like heaven. It like reminds me of some 16-bit Sonic music. That's what it really reminds me of. 21 is I Love You, I Hate You. Wow, this sounds really spacious. What? That sound, I remember a DJ playing it so long ago. It's like New York based. It might be 30 years old. Yeah. I'm wrong because I know that's not a Parlamento. I know it's not. It sounds like it. I want to know what that is because it's like the whole time that it fluctuating the whole time. That's what gets me to fall like in love with this. It's a little, I know it's a little too jarring to be hypnotic, but it does put me in a little bit of a trance. Track number 22 is Die for Guy. He's really, you're not helping your case that you're not gay, man. It's the beats. I like that I can tell how like raw the energy is right now, because that's really what I'm getting from him. I'm not really getting a strong sense of like, you know, direction in terms of idea or direction when it comes to intent on flow. It's just how the instrumental or how the music is hitting me, and my inflections are going to be based off of that, how this moment is making me feel. And it is very inspired by, you know, punk, like this lack of, you know, control, this lack of direction. Track number 23 is called Not Playing. These songs hit like really quick bursts of energy, like they get injected in somebody's veins, but the effect doesn't last too long. And despite how I feel about, you know, majority of the album when it comes to its length, I do think a lot of this is just really cohesive, and it doesn't necessarily take, you know, trap music into tradition in a direction that I would want it to go in terms of like melody, but it is different. I'll say that it is a different direction. And it's something that sounds a little bit more appropriate for someone like a Carti to try, or, you know, someone like an Uzi to try. These are beats and instrumentals and just takes on the genre I don't think just anyone can do. Like I felt, you know, a good portion of Die Lit could have been handed to a lot of rappers and still would have been just as entertaining for me. Track number 24 is Feel Like Dying. And I feel like dying. If we can find out, we can find out, we can find out. Yeah. I don't know if that works. Yeah, see that vocal snippet that was in the back in the very beginning, you know, I kind of felt like that would have been a good foundation to build something that we haven't heard before, like some soul trap or some blues trap, you know, something that will give, you know, some of these tracks a little bit more flavor and keep them from being less tart, because I don't think Carti's vocals, you know, can really carry this project by itself with everything that he's attempted and everything that he's tried. I do like how uncontrolled so much of it is, but at the same time, I feel like it would be so much more melodically pleasing and so much more appealing to the ears if he actually knew, or it sounded like he knew what he was doing, if it sounded like he had a direction for his voice. And I get, at least as far as like some of the genre fusing that's going on here, the attitude that he's supposed to maintain is that of one that doesn't necessarily adhere to traditional parts of a particular genre, which would make it a little bit more punk. But I do think that would make this a lot better to listen to if we shrunk the track listing down. I think there are a ton of tracks here that just don't need to be here. And within it, it probably is one of Playboi Carti's best bodies of work. But I don't think with 24 tracks, people who have to listen to it from start to finish are going to see that. I didn't mind a good portion of the first leg. I would say, you know, with the exception of track number 4 and maybe No Sleep, I think 7 to 8 of those tracks I'm probably keeping. From 11 to 20, I might be taking 2 or 3 tracks with me, and then the remainder, you know, are decent. You know, they're decent, they're good Carti tracks. This album does sound, it's weird to say experimental because I really don't want to use that word for this record, but it does sound like an attempt at something greater than what the landscape has to offer. But I don't think it's a refined attempt. I don't think it's a refined sound, which is, you know, okay, that's how a lot of stuff ends up being built into something greater. We might not get it with this album, but it might be created because someone's inspired by this album. You don't know. With his voice being so strained throughout majority of the listen to me, and it not sounding nearly as natural or as comfortable as he has sounded on features all throughout 2019 and on previous records, I think this, with the mixing, is going to make that stand out a lot more, because there are many instances where he's mixed louder than the instrumental itself, and his vocals are like way more noticeable than they would be had he been mixed in properly. Even some of the instrumentals aren't necessarily mixed to like the highest degree, and again, I don't know if that's artistic choice or just laziness. There's no Post Malone, there's no Lil Uzi, there's no Travis Scott, there's no features to break up the monotony of a Carti for the remainder of, I don't even know, like 14 more songs. I mean, I think the last feature we get is Future. It's Kanye, Cudi, and then it goes to Future, and then that's the end of the features, and the rest is Carti doing his best, I don't know, punk inflections and like hard rock inflections, or what he feels like maybe he might even get from some new metal. I don't know. Instrumentally, some of the tracks almost touch on the industrial side, and I'm like, yo, this is kind of crazy. I just think Carti's sound is too raw to make the most out of what these beats have to offer, or to really sound like he's a part of the instrumental. He sounds like a totally different entity. I came into this not really knowing exactly what I wanted from Carti, and I feel not being a big fan of his previous work kind of takes me away from the sentiment that many people probably will hold him to of, oh, we want you to make music that was more like Die Lit, because I didn't give a fuck about Die Lit like that to begin with. So I definitely can see where he's going as far as the sound on this new record, and I can appreciate some of the more experimental attempts, because I do think those are the more interesting cuts on this album. But I think if he just refines his voice a little bit more, and he just takes a little bit more time to kind of make some of those vocal inflections come off more naturally, as opposed to as harsh and abrasive as they seem to have come off on this record, fix the mixing a bit more, this could be a lot more enjoyable, and trimming down the fat of maybe 7 to 10 songs. I feel like this could have been a really good album. I think maybe a part of the fear of releasing an album like this and it being such a big transition from Die Lit was maybe not knowing how well people were going to take to it, so wanting to put more onto the record to give people, you know, more options. Maybe that was what he was trying to do. That fear definitely didn't play to the album's strength though, and definitely weakened it in my opinion. The tracks on here that I'm a huge fan of are the ones that have like these dark, sweet, really like sugary type beats with this really heavy booming 808 in the background. Other tracks that I really enjoy are like these arcade type songs with these really heavy like 16-bit atmospheres to them. The ones that loop constantly. I think Carti's vibe and his aesthetic goes perfectly over stuff like that. Even tracks here that are a lot more genre fluid, I think play more to Carti's strengths, but the thing that really holds me back from loving it is just Carti himself. Like, his voice is just not where I need for it to be for these tracks to go from, all right, I see where you're going, to wow, he just blew me away. Shout out to the producers for this album as well, because these beats are incredibly layered. Not many transitions outside of the track with Kid Cudi, but the beats, when it comes to the layers, more layers than a lasagna. But if I look back throughout like the entire record, it's really not that bad. Another listen and I think, you know, my ears will be more tuned to it. But I think I need more time, and I also think his sound, you know, with this needs to be more refined. But I don't think this is a fail. I don't think it's a miss. I actually I think I'll probably come back to this more than any Carti project. But yeah, for right now, Carti with Whole Lotta Red. That's how I'm feeling about it. And I'll see y'all the next one, you know. Yeah.